Let's play Lisa. We wake up outside Marty's cave and have one last chance to save the game, as this is pretty much the point of no return. Of course, Buddy is trying to get away from us as fast as she can, so she stole our boat. Nothing remains except for our regrets. Well, probably only one way we can get off this island now. Oh, I also forgot to credit Smelku for his great work on InfoWork Harder. And Alex Jones for never taking his meds. And the last joke floats away from us like a bloated corpse in the ocean. Goodbye, Shardy. Or, wait, was it Tardy? Doesn't matter, I guess. Well, this blue-red color palette and all the red skulls probably means this is rando territory. There's never really any mention of if they had some sort of central hub, but this is probably it. Fortunately, they've left a bit of their supplies behind. It's completely abandoned, though. At least this part is. Where did everyone go? This guy knows Bradley by name, and we have seen him before. This is Sticky's dad, Mr. Aganelli. He's not a very good person. He's not powerless, but he's no Brad. Your son is dead, though you probably don't care about that. We're starting to find out that Buddy is a lot tougher than we expected. If you look at Ding-a-Ling's biographies for the characters, you can read Brad's description, which says, "A man with a very tough shell, but a weak core." Well, despite that tough shell, this is the line that breaks him. Buddy has been the sole driving force behind all of Brad's actions throughout the game, but with this, she has completely rejected him, and Brad has become a failure. Still no sign of any randos, and this whole compound seems completely abandoned. Which sucks for them, because they left behind all of their fuel and all of their rations. They did remember to lock the doors, though, so I guess there's that. After the way you've probably played the game in order to get this far, you feel like one generator is a huge deal, and here's like 8 of them. It's probably more, I never really counted. So even if you're completely out of supplies at this point in the game, you can probably still finish it if you get here. Ah, we found the army. It's here. All of them. Buddy has clearly made her choice, but so have our friends. Brad has also made his choice, and at this point he's working off sheer determination. Brad also has a new moveset. Basically his core techniques have been powered up a bit. But our friends' hearts aren't really in it. It seems like this is especially hard on Carp. Well, goodbye, Carp. We'll live enough of the thug life for both of us. Nern, you can go tell Dale Spooner how much you hate him. Harvey, I'm sure the devil needs a good lawyer. Goodbye. It seems like handing Buddy over to Rando might have been a good idea from the start. He seems like literally the nicest person left in this world. It's pretty clear that the Rando army is not prepared for Brad Armstrong. Brad doesn't notice he's crying. Rando addresses Brad as Master Armstrong, and you see right away he's using his basic attacks. So right away we can infer that he is a student of Brad's. But if you think back to some of the flashbacks Brad had throughout the game, there was one child who didn't think he was good enough for karate and was watching in on the classes. That's little Rando. There's more history between these two that we're going to find out in Joyful, but for now... Rando does have a very high amount of HP. He can take many hits, and he's resistant to fire. Those are pretty much our two best attacks. They're pretty much nerfed against him. But that's pretty much the best thing about Rando, is his endurance. He does not have the willpower, or the intent to kill, for Brad. And you can't pull your punches against Brad Armstrong. You may also remember we saw him in one of Brad's hallucinations in a small cave. It looked like his face was a bit scratched up. After losing his mask, the Broken Man is no longer immune to fire. A nice guy until the end. Just a real nice guy. You probably think this is all really funny, huh? And that's the end of Lisa the Painful RPG. Or at least that's the end if you decide not to hug Brad. I feel like most people see this ending the first time around. Probably not, Brad. We're gonna watch these credits again because they're just great. They're short and to the point since the game was mostly made by Jorgensen, but they also mess with your head as we start seeing odd messages. This is most likely Brad's inner thoughts as the mutation occurs. All he can think about is protecting Buddy, and it's motivating him even after his death. Regardless of which ending you chose, I honestly think it's one of the best I've seen in a game in a long time. It just holds absolutely nothing back. Brad lets out 3 decades of pent-up rage and aggression, and kills an entire army, his companions, his former student, and then dies wondering if he did the right thing. Or so you think, until we see he's mutated into a horrific blob of flesh. It does a pretty good job of setting up tension for Joyful. And speaking of joy, if you manage to beat the game without using joy on anyone, not just Brad, you get this as a reward. Now, it probably doesn't seem like a substantial reward for such a difficult condition, but it does give us some new info about Buzzo, who was entirely absent from the end of Painful, and Dr. Yado, the guy responsible for Joy. We now know that Buzzo was part of the group who developed Joy. This explains why he got so much of it, but it doesn't really tell us why he's giving it out, or why he's so fixated on Brad. Yado is even more mysterious. We barely know anything about him at all, but we've been seeing his influence throughout the game. The Nice Homes area is pretty clearly an abandoned experiment, as is the resort island we visited last episode, full of flesh mutants. There's still a lot to experience in the Lisa franchise. I'll be doing an LP of Joyful in early 2017, but more importantly, I'm going to be doing a marathon stream of Pain Mode tomorrow night. That's Friday, December 16th, 2016, at around 6:30 Mountain Time, or 8:30 Eastern. You can see that at twitch.tv/thevoiceofdog, where I'll be streaming from now on. You'll get to see me experience Lisa's hard mode for the first time in one whole sitting, and it should be pretty interesting. I'd like to thank everyone for watching and commenting and waiting patiently on my shitty update schedule. I really appreciated all the encouragement you guys had to offer. So, until next time, I'm the voice of dog.